I'm Layla El-Khoury. I'm a PhD student in the Bio and Ag department here. I got both my bachelor's and master's from here as well. I'm also a member of the State Dance Company, which is one of the 3 dance companies at State. And I've been working a lot the past few years to kind of merge what I'm doing in dance and with choreography along with my research to kind of find a way to bring the 2 worlds together. So part of the reason I was drawn to BAE as an undergrad was just my interest in the environment. As I was finishing undergrad, I took a class where I had Dr. Dahl, and she talked about streams and stream restoration, and that was what really got me. I was like, that's really interesting. And I was like, I kind of want to learn more about that, which started me down my whole graduate path, where I work with Dr. Dahl and I look at specifically stream bank erosion, looking at different ways to identify locations of it, as well as different methods you can use to quantify it, and then trying to create models to predict. Well, I've been dancing since I was 3. I really got into both teaching and choreography back in like 2016. And then I really heavily focused on that for a few years, and then I really started to miss performing, kind of around when the pandemic happened, and that was when I got in touch with Tara Mullins, who directs the State Dance Company, and I joined the State Dance Company in fall of 21, and I've been able to both perform as well as choreograph. So I was recently recognized for the piece I choreographed titled Force of Flows through the Dance Your PhD contest, where it won the physics category. I first created the piece in fall of 21, and it was a way for me to kind of explain the basis of my research. So it was really about telling people what stream bank erosion is, what causes it, and like what are the impacts of it, why people should care about it. That like kind of like the general public isn't super aware of stream bank erosion. It's not a common topic that comes up a lot, and so when I was trying to ask what people knew about it, it seemed like just like kind of understanding the basics of it was what needed to be addressed. So when I created this piece, I knew I wanted to have a narrated section, and it was really important to me as like a woman in STEM that it be a female voice. And so I played around with a couple different voices. I tried my own, I absolutely hated it. And I ended up using 2 different voices. I used the voice of a dancer I was teaching, she's about 12, and then actually one of my former dance teachers, she's like kind of retired now, so like in her 60s, and I really liked kind of starting with a younger voice and it moving into this older voice, and then ending with the younger voice to show the passage of time, but then kind of ending with that younger voice was a little bit of this idea that we are being kind of handed down the problems from previous generations to now deal with and address. I think that using dance or any art form to explain STEM concepts or STEM research makes it a lot more accessible and engaging to the general public. Especially in like academics, I think when we think about sharing our research, we focus really heavily on like conferences or like journal articles and fact sheets, things that are really addressed towards other people within your field or practitioners, and it's not really directed towards like just a general person. And I think a lot of our research is super applicable to everyone, and people should be aware of the issues that our research is addressing. And I think one of the great things that dance and the arts in general do is it brings in this added element of emotion that you don't get. And when people become like emotionally connected to something, that's when they become invested in it and they care about it, and you're not going to get that same effect through just talking to somebody about it.